What if the most valuable things in life couldn't be bought? In a world obsessed with price tags, one forgotten village uncovers a truth hidden in silence, music, and a single flower. Join us as we explore the heart of Debussy's Clair de Lune, the soul of a delicate orchid and the currency of true love. This isn't just a reflection, it's an invitation to feel. Stay with us. This might just change how you see beauty forever.
When the fog descended, silence settled over the village after the discovery of old Billy's departure. His notes were left stacked, serving as entertainment for the locals who chose to share them with others.
Number 015, Clair de Lune and the Flower. This is just one of countless pieces of music we know to have been composed with the best of the author's heart. Without a dose of true love, no one could come close to producing such a result, and I ask, how much can the expression of love be worth? How many houses could you buy with a work like this? Well, you don't need to be a genius to know that certain things are priceless. But we've been trained to produce things that are measurable in price. And so, we distance ourselves from what holds the greatest value. These works that come from within the beings and reach the external world are not just works of art like the ones we are used to encountering. No, we all know how to create from the inside out and, in doing so, imprint our best on the physical world. This can be done through poetry, music, books, sculptures, or paintings. But art is not what man/woman creates, for life itself is art. Life is a grand work of art made by the best of all artists. We are also artists creating pieces all the time, and we can indeed create beautiful things whenever we surrender, as Debussy did in this composition. For there is no amount of money in the world that can honor its greatness. The other day I remembered Celia, a special woman who dedicated herself to passing messages of awareness to modern hermits. What a joy it was to have spent time with such a beautiful soul. Then an image of an orchid came to mind. I always made this association when I got close to Celia. She was so delicate and gentle, so fragile. Well, some flowers have thorns to protect themselves, to carve out space among others and release their fragrance into the air. But orchids are so vulnerable that everything around them must be in ideal conditions. Eventually, one or another of these flowers will defy logic and grow in unexpected places. These will suffer from inadequate lighting, improper humidity, winds, and all kinds of aggression. But in any case, they leave their marks on those who cross their paths. There are those who are not flowers to be smelled, but who know the importance of an orchid. Many of these beings work to favor the health of orchids, and this is their way of bringing something unmeasurable from within to the outside. There are also those who have done nothing to help the flowering, but when they find themselves in front of an orchid, they stop time and let themselves be penetrated by its beauty. This receptiveness gives meaning to the life of the flower, and that is worth just as much as everything else that cannot be measured. Whether actively or passively, we are surrounded by things that happen from within to outside, revealing the best of something or someone. And from now on, this will be my currency. How much is the exchange rate of my love? How much beans can I buy with the life within me? I don't know. But I do know that someone cultivated beans giving their best, not for money. So my silence will reach your heart, and we will know that there are delicate flowers that need and deserve love to continue offering their beauty, and little by little, there will be a chain of people willing to dedicate their energy to loving things. Clair de Lune will play more often on the radio, and people will take a few minutes to listen to the beauty within themselves and wonder how they, too, can create more beauty in things that money can't buy. We will look at the moon and the stars, at the stones too, and see life in everything. We will know that it's all there, ready to be perceived and loved as God's art. Then we will stop looking at our mistakes, for there is no love in valuing what didn't come from the heart. There is no point in continuing to live for a world of limitations and leaving behind a life of constant blossoming. How much is true love worth? Where can I buy a bit of subtlety, softness? Who cares for kindness? To discover that those who love themselves have flaws, that they lie, judge, condemn, betray, and take advantage. To discover this is to discover that we are full of human factors. But to discover that within each human being there is an orchid, well, that is to find the passage of love and feel the freshness of the source of all goodness. I don't exactly know how much the world may be interested in or need the best in us. But I do know that we've come to this point where our currency is this simple opening where once there was a heart, and now it strives not to block the passage of nature. How much is the love that crosses this chest worth? It is all that we are and also all that can have value. Everything else has its price, yes. But our worth, our currency is true love. Everything is energy, and love has proven to be the most noble and powerful vibration that can occur. So that's it. This is how nature evolves. This is how everything regenerates. This is how the balance between orbits is maintained. This is how everything falls into place and becomes even better than it was before. It is through the power of the noble vibration over what may eventually find dissonance and produce discord.
It would be wonderful if we could have Clair de Lune playing in the background while the text is being presented, but copyright rules prohibit us from doing so. So, let's provide a link below to an emotional interpretation performed on October 17th, 2012, at concert in the Salle Pleyel in Paris by the piano virtuoso Menahem Pressler. This way, everyone can access the music, appreciate its beauty, and enjoy its charm. For now, let's listen to the analysis by Doctor of Classical Music, Maestro Onyx Senatore.
This text is a beautiful, lyrical meditation on the value of art, love, and human connection, contrasted with the limitations of a purely material world. Here's an analysis. Summary. The author reflects on the immeasurable worth of art created from love, using Debussy's Clair de Lune as an example. They extend this concept to human beings, comparing delicate souls to orchids, and emphasizing the importance of recognizing and nurturing inner beauty. The text advocates for a shift in values, where love becomes the primary currency, and encourages a greater appreciation for the intrinsic worth of life. Theme identification. The inherent value of love and art. The text champions the idea that true art, born from love, is priceless and transcends material value. Human fragility and beauty. The orchid metaphor represents the delicate nature of human souls and the need for nurturing and protection. The power of recognition and appreciation. The act of recognizing and appreciating inner beauty is seen as a valuable contribution to the world. Shifting values. The text calls for a move away from a materialistic worldview towards one that prioritizes love, compassion, and inner worth. The importance of inner beauty. The text makes a strong point that everyone has inner beauty. Energy and vibration. The text uses the concept of energy and vibration to explain the power of love. Tone and sentiment analysis. The tone is contemplative, poetic, and deeply emotional. There is a strong sense of reverence for beauty, both in art and in human beings. The sentiment is hopeful and optimistic, advocating for a more loving and compassionate world. There is a feeling of deep appreciation for the beauty of life. Style and language analysis. The language is rich in imagery and metaphor, particularly the use of the orchid as a symbol of human fragility and beauty. The text blends personal anecdotes with philosophical reflections, creating a sense of intimacy and authenticity. The rhetorical questions and exclamations emphasize the author's passion and conviction. The text flows in a very lyrical and musical way. Key points and observations. Clair de Lune. This musical piece serves as a powerful symbol of the immeasurable worth of art created from love. The orchid metaphor. This recurring image represents the delicate nature of human souls and the need for nurturing. Currency of love. This concept highlights the author's desire to shift values and prioritize love over material wealth. Human factors. The author acknowledges the flaws and imperfections of human beings, but emphasizes the importance of recognizing their inner beauty. Energy and vibration. The text uses the concept of energy and vibration to explain the power of love. The search for value. The author is on a mission to redefine value. The text can inspire readers to cultivate greater appreciation for beauty, both in art and in human beings. This text is a moving and insightful exploration of the power of love and the importance of recognizing inner beauty. It encourages readers to shift their perspectives and embrace a more compassionate and meaningful way of living, which, I dare say, fits perfectly with the purpose of the most inspired composers in our history, among them the author of this music, Claude Debussy, born in France in 1862.
Wonderful, Maestro. We are pleased to have you here. Thanks for your contribution.
I am at the service of art. Thank you for welcoming me.